Hello and welcome to my second episode of Freshly Squeezed Audio, and today we're going to talk about something old, as I have promised. And just because it's old kids does not mean it's going to be rubbish, as this little video will show you.
And action!
Hello kids, and my name is Aaron from back in the day, and I'm here to teach you about the old things. What you may not realise is, just because it's from back in the day, doesn't mean it's bloody awful. For a while, and through the 60s and 70s, music was causing a stir. There was no rebellion in music, music was the rebellion. And during this time, musicians found a way of art, where people were expressing themselves, as well as having premarital jigglies, where men had long hair and women wore long flares. Back in this time, music was quite new and everything happened, and it was leading up to the events of 1977, where there were such things as musicians bands, such as my friend here from the future, Silentrooms Aron, will explain.
And today I'm going to review a band called China and their album China, which was released in 1977. And there's my copy here, and one's copy as well, because we're both fanatical about this album. It's fantastic. And it's produced by Elton John, and it's on his record label, the Rocket Record Company, as it says here. And the band, you know the guys in the band. We've got Davey Johnston, who still works with Elton John. He's the guitarist, and he's the singer on this. You got James Newton Howard. If you don't know him, then at the moment he's got a song out in the charts, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah, because I think he's done all the Hunger Games. He's done all the soundtrack. Yeah. But yeah, he's done Batman Begins. That's their Ruskies, going back that far. So this guy's massive, and he plays the keys on this. And then you got Cuccolo Presti, who's the bass guitarist on there, and fantastic bass player he is. And then my old friend, late friend, Roger Pope, who is a fantastic drummer. He was Ludwig's, one of Ludwig's main drummers, and the face of Ludwig for a little while, wasn't he?
Got sponsorship deals all over the place.
Yeah. But yeah, he was Elton John's drummer. He drums for Cliff Richard, Hookfoot, Kiki D. He's massive. And so this album is, let me tell you this, I kind of hate this album because it's so frustrating. You listen to it and it's just fantastic. I love it. I can't get enough of this album. And everyone should know about this. I don't know why Elton and the gang didn't push this out. They are the musician's musician, and this proves it second to none. This is absolutely awesome. So yeah, my favourite tracks off the album, to keep this short, Meet Me Halfway is a fantastic track. It should have been a single. If it was a single back in the 70s, it's one of those ones that will still be played on radio today. This album is that good. It frustrates me, like I said. All the way through is fantastic, and the only thing I've got against it is, one, it wasn't long enough for me, and there's a female at the end, a very powerful female vocalist that comes in, and I really wish she was in there a little bit more at the end. But it's one of those songs where at the gig you're holding your lighters up, or in this day and age your mobile phones. Anyway, after that, there's a really good instrumental track on here where Davey plays the sitar, and there's some nice little backing vocals in there. But straight after that is my absolute favourite, and it's called Savage, and this is quite a rock song. The drums in it are fantastic all the way through. The melody is fantastic. I can't get enough of this song. But all the way through this album, you've got a lot of Elton John influences. The piano work in there is very rockabilly, very Elton John, so you'll know what to expect there. Vocal wise, which is quite surprising, I didn't expect Davey to sound, but he sounds a bit like Phil out of Thin Lizzy. I'm not saying he sounds exactly the same way, but you listen to it and you'll get what I mean. But there's another track on here, For a While, which again should have been the single. Another track be played today on radios. It's as big as, it should be as big as any Led Zeppelin track or a Pink Floyd track, you know, and as recognised as a Beatles track. I just don't understand why this album was never pushed out. Listening to it, it's like listening to bite-sized prog rock. It's a bit more in keeping to M1. I think that's why he likes it a bit more, because you're not a massive prog rock fan, are you?
Prog rock is a bit fiddly for me, but
Prog rock.
yeah, prog rock. But this, you know, it's a nice combination of prog rock and, you know, just general rock.
Yeah.
Which, you know, anybody would love.
It is. Yeah. Anyone that loves old 70s rock, you're definitely going to love this. It does look like I'm holding it upside down. I'm not. It's like a flip thing going on, so don't think I'm mad. Even though I am a bit. If you can find it on eBay, you can't buy it in the shops anymore. I think you said you can get it on cassette.
There are copies of it on cassette floating around and on vinyl if you look on eBay.
Yeah.
You've got to search hard for it though.
But I would love Elton John to, if he ever sees this video, he might down the line, I don't know, but can you please re-release this album? Because people need to know about this greatness. I mean, there can't be anything wrong with re-releasing old works that have never been heard before. I mean, everyone's remastering their bloody albums for the 5th time, aren't they? Why not re-release something that people have just not heard of? And just get some seriously great musicianhood in this. Alan, you should be proud of the production on this. It's fantastic. I really like it. It kind of reminds me of a bit of Blue Moves as well. The album Blue Moves by Elton John.
What you don't realise is most of the music that was done back then is being covered by your new Biff Baff Boff bands today. And a lot of drum work, just like this Roger chap, has been sampled on several occasions. Why is this? Because the music back then was just bloody good, and is still timeless today.
If you want to know a bit more about Roger Pope as a drummer, well, his drum works is sampled. He's got a band called Hookfoot. That's sampled a lot, by even Cypress Hill we found out used a sample, didn't they? And he is a fantastic drummer, and on this he's a groove drummer. He's not someone who just, as he used to say, fall into the kit and just play every bloody part the drummer can possibly do in one hit just to prove he can do it. He just plays a tight groove with a punch when it needs, and you can hear this all the way through. It's a really good example of his playing. Dave Johnston's guitaring is fantastic on it. The bass as well. I'm not too sure if it's a wah-wah that kicks in or an envelope filter, but it's nice to hear it. And back then, the effects are really new on this album because they were just being born. And they're using them on this album, and it's really cool to hear, and I love it. So, if you're a rock fan, 70s rock fan, just a record collector, find this. You will not be disappointed. And you know, maybe get on the Elton John website and cause a little campaign to get this released. It'd be fantastic. So, anyway, hope you enjoy the hunt and listening to it. But I'm sure you can hear the full. You said you can hear the full album on YouTube.
No, some people have uploaded it onto YouTube. Yes. I'll probably put a link to that in, just because.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah, but if not, just buy it. Put it in your collection. It needs to be done. Okay. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time round. Ciao.
Now time for what's not an album. That's not an album! That's a bloody goldfish! Gold!